I run, baby, super, son, yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay back here with another video. And I posted yesterday, so I'm low-key getting good at this posting, John. Like, hey, you might be seeing me more often, you feel me? Today we are watching a video about Gabe, or some people like to call him the original UZI, which is just crazy. But I guess UZI got a lot of inspiration, or he kind of modeled things from him. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great video. 60 minutes, not too long. Make sure I get something to eat. Tell me what y'all eat it in the comments. You feel me? Let me know what y'all eating in the comments. Nah, I'm just okay. That was kind of weird. Let me know what y'all eating in the comments. Make sure I like and subscribe. Come on, you know the vibes. You know the routine, bro. Make sure I like and subscribe, bro. Let me know what you want to hear next. Furthermore, oh wait, that's not. I don't know. I forgot my church's words. All right, let's get into the video. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's do it.
What if I told you there's someone that has directed a Drake music video, produced for Playboi Carti, and has a collab with Disney? Well, Gabe has done all of that, and those are just a few of the rare feats he's accomplished so far. If you're familiar with Gabe, you probably know he makes music or that he shoots videos, and if you've just heard of him, you may think he's just an affiliate of Playboi Carti's label Opium. But Gabe actually has a pretty storied career. In fact, until 2016, he didn't even go by Gabe. He was part of a duo called UZI, where he made a name for himself directing music videos and releasing music. So who is this jack of all trades who directs, edits, raps, produces, and designs clothes? Yet is still an enigma to most fans.
Is that him next to Michael Jordan?
Gabriel Rousseau, known as Gabe, was born on October 20th, 1989 in Los Angeles, California. Not much is known about his early life other than that he grew up in LA and went to high school in Ohio after his parents divorced. As a kid, he played basketball, and although he wasn't a skater, he knew how to since he grew up in the Valley. His ethnicity is Filipino and black, and a random fact about him is he was on his high school cross-country team. After high school, he attended college in Ohio, but ultimately dropped out due to wanting to pursue music. Ohio is where Gabe would meet Tone and get introduced to Mike and Abby. Together, these four made up the band UZI. Gabe actually was not one of the original members of UZI. It was founded by Mike and Tone. The story of Gabe joining the band goes as follows. Gabe met Tone in the back of a bar and they started jamming together. Abby joined after they put out an ad for someone who could play the keys. Abby played the synth while Mike made beats and played the guitar. In an interview by Hypebeast, Mike of UZI explained the name of their band. We see it as a funny, bubbly cartoon character, like SpongeBob or something. It's not meant to be literal. The band wasn't the most popular group, but they were big enough to open for other acts in Ohio, like LMFAO, Big Sean, and Mike Posner. The band didn't release much music with all four members, and there are a handful of old songs you can find online with them. Unfortunately, Gabe and Mike learned that their bandmates were being sketchy, or quote-unquote doing mean stuff to girls, and they kicked them out, sizing down to a duo. Gabe was the face of the duo, mostly in charge of the visuals, vocals, and writing all the melodies. Mike would handle most of the production behind the boards. He played every instrument, engineered, and coordinated the beats, although they both were heavily involved in all aspects of their work. They started to gain popularity around 2010 and had a local buzz. However, after comparing themselves to Tyler, the Creator, and Odd Future, they realized that they had to move to LA if they were going to make it, so they decided to pack their bags and move to LA. In 2011, Gabe and Mike moved to LA with literally $10 in their pocket. They would couch surf and were basically homeless with regular jobs. Gabe actually had a job busting tables. When they first came to LA, they had no respect. People looked at them like they were retarded when they tried to start a conversation with them. But slowly, through making friends and connections in the party scene, they started to gain respect from others. They shot stills of famous people that they would see at parties and slowly started to make connections. They started releasing songs that could be labeled as electronic rap, as well as pop. A weird variety, I know, but that was on brand for UZI. They were the first ones to really make that style of rap too. They never dropped an album, but instead released tons of singles, promoting each one on Twitter heavily. Money, No Matter What, Money 2, People Never Change, Lost in the Night, Blue, Games, Life's No Fun. The content in the songs ranged from their party life in Hollywood to their romantic lives and other relatable subjects like fake friends. Here's what the singles are about in no particular order. In Money, Gabe talks about how all he cares about in life is money, not what his haters have to say, and he describes his no-limit lifestyle, getting drunk and and maxing out his credit card and foreign cars. The song samples the piano from the song Another Night by Real McCoy with loud 808s, a common theme in their music at the time. No Matter What is the most traditional rap song, in terms of delivery at least. Gabe raps about the success he's receiving recently, and despite old friends saying he has changed, certain things will stay constant in his life. Him getting money, posted with a hot girl, his same group of friends, and getting high and faded. Money too is Gabe rapping about his contradicting lifestyle and love life. His priorities lie with making money, which is causing his relationship to crumble. He then talks about how in the end, while drunk, he still loves her and wants to be with her while living his chaotic life. People Never Change is my favorite song by Gabe. He rants about fake friends acting like they don't know you, but he's still gonna do his own thing while being a misfit. There's a lyric that says vids glitched out so the kids get rich, referring to his signature VHS video. Lost in the Night is a party song where Gabe talks about going on benders, how easily he loses himself in them, and how he loves it but just doesn't know what to make of it. Blue samples Eiffel 65's song Blue Dada B, where Gabe asks why his girl is always mad at him or depressed, while he's just having fun and in his own words, living the Hollywood dream. Blue was one of Uzi's most successful songs, and Lil Uzi Vert even asked them if he could hop on it. Unfortunately, they didn't know who he was, and he had the same name as them, which they thought was a bit weird, and they never responded, dubbing him. In Life's No Fun, Gabe talks about the things in life that give him joy, getting money, getting stoned, and the girl he loves. Games is the oldest song on Gabe's SoundCloud, even though it was actually released towards the end of Uzi as a duo. It's about getting played by a girl who kept lying and playing games with him. He eventually cut her off after his friend saw her hanging out with another guy. Scene Girl is about being unable to trust a scene girl, who's kind of a hoe, more committed to partying than anything else, and more importantly, not to make her your dream girl, because she won't change for you. He also raps, I'm feeling like filming is going to make us millions, predicting the success he would soon have as a music video director in LA. To them, a scene girl was anyone who presented themselves online as something more than they were. Scene Girl was the product of Gabe and Mike perfectly mixing pop punk with hip hop, and if I had to pick one song that encapsulated their sound, I would pick Scene Girl. To this day, it's their most influential piece of work in my opinion, an underground classic.
Let's go listen to Scene Girl.
Cigarette, I'm feeling like filming is about to make us millions, millions, millions,
It's so different. It's not like a normal car, you know what I mean? Obviously, like it's like different when you're here.
On the internet, smoking another cigarette. Feeling like filming is about to make us millions.
Maybe he's in the toy out because the dream girl is just gonna play with him. Just like a toy. That was actually pretty tough. But add it to my playlist. I don't know. I might have to listen to it a couple more times.
Still holds up. Alright, so back to their move to LA. Mike and Gabe had just moved to LA and didn't really have much going on for the first 3 months, until one night they heard about a show that was going on, and even though they knew they had no chance of getting in, they went anyway. They ended up shooting a video loop of Krayshawn on the red carpet and tweeting it to her the next day. After chatting with her on Twitter for a couple weeks, they ended up directing a music video for her song Summertime. The video was a huge deal for them since it was the first time they were able to showcase their signature VHS style, and more importantly was how they caught the attention of ASAP Yams. Immediately after working with Krayshawn, Yams hit them up. He started showing love to Uzi at a party. They were surprised he even knew their names. Soon Yams called Gabe and said ASAP Ferg was in the studio with another artist and asked Gabe to shoot it. From there, he gave them a bunch of opportunities. Gabe even had a cameo in the Shabba music video after helping with some of the shots. To put their leap into perspective, at the time when Gabe first met Yams, he was still busting tables. Gabe has gone on to say that his entire career blossomed single-handedly from working with ASAP Yams. On the musical side of things, Uzi was still grinding to become a successful band. A huge win for them early on was the support they got from Wiz Khalifa. Originally, Ian Connor introduced them to Wiz, and they started hanging out and smoking. He then invited them to open for him on his upcoming Big Secret tour. They also had a song on Wiz Khalifa's 28 Grams mixtape, Different So Fast. Things seemed to be going well for Uzi. Having said that, touring with Wiz Khalifa was a tough experience for Gabe. No one really knew Uzi. They only had one song out at the time, and there were even a few cities they got booed at, since their music was drastically different from what Wiz's fans were expecting and used to. Uzi went on to collaborate with even more big names. When Fall Out Boy was remixing their album American Beauty / American Psycho, they reached out to Uzi. At first they were like,
"Are you sure?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
You got the right person.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
bro.
Meet Base 40.
Gabe said they asked him if they were the guys hanging out with Wiz, and they said yeah. They ended up being a feature on the remix for the song Novocaine. They also signed Kanye's tracklist Notepad for Live at Pablo, which is pretty rare. Uzi continued to release singles through the early to mid 2010s, but eventually Mike and Gabe's age gap started to cause issues between them. The way Gabe described it was Mike was a lot older than Gabe, and way older than a lot of the kids Gabe was hanging out with, so Mike felt out of place and questions what he was doing, especially when he would walk out of his room and see young Weege on the couch. Eventually, the two had a falling out and the duo split for good. They did become cool again for a short period of time, but by then, Uzi had become a thing of the past.
Switch to Gabe. Bro, that's bound to happen though, you know what I mean?
On October 13, 2016, Gabe officially announced his name change from Uzi to Gabe in a post with the caption, "Love all the fans, rip Uzi, what's in the past is in the past." He still was releasing rave or electronic trap music like I Need You, but by then also started working with Goth Boy Clique, dropping tracks like Every Day, produced by Smokestack, and collaborating with Lil Peep, Lil Tracy, and Macna. Gabe and Peep dropped Gabe's biggest song to date, Hollywood Dreaming, accompanied by a music video directed by Gabe. The two released 5 songs together, 4 of which were released after Lil Peep's unfortunate passing. There was also a to this day unreleased EP he recorded with Tracy, and a track with Macnet called Hype Beast. Later on, he worked with Smoke Perp on the song Extra, which had a video on Worldstar. It was Gabe and Smoke Perp rapping on a beat produced by Fishnark, a producer known for his work with Lil Peep and Goth Boy Clique. This began his transition into a more pop-punk style. He took a 1.5-year break from releasing music, and when he returned, the pivot to pop-punk inspired rap was clear. He started dropping songs like No Sleep featuring Skepta, a solo track, Gone, Geeked with Famous Tech, and Fast Life with Killy. These singles were Gabe mixing 2000s punk with contemporary rap, just like he did when he was Uzi, but with the fresher, newer sound. Skepta's verse in No Sleep was actually recorded in 2017, but Gabe redid the beat and his part on the song, which is really impressive. The original song, which is leaked on SoundCloud, is a rave song, completely different from what the released version sounds like. Yago, Gabe's producer and one of his closest friends, would sadly pass away just 2 weeks after the official release date of Fast Life with Killy, and his Superstar EP that he teased never released officially, although it leaked with a couple of other singles from this time period. Gabe was never strictly a musician and was pretty successful as a director / videographer as well as a designer. But before we talk about his most famous work, I want to briefly go over his signature style and the huge influence he had on music videos. It all started in Ohio when Gabe and Mike began learning film after directors kept flaking out on doing their videos. Once they moved to LA, they used film as a way to get into the world of musicians. When asked about his signature VHS style, he explained that once he got to LA, there were kids that had $20,000 to $30,000 worth of camera equipment in their house. They realized they couldn't beat them in quality, so they began using off offbeat cameras with an older, more authentic aesthetic. Gabe further explained that he was just offbeat himself. Everything he did was to fill a void, and that style hadn't been done before. Their VHS aesthetic actually inspired the music video for New Friends by Drake and Lil Wayne. In an interview with Complex, Gabe commented on the video saying, "At first when the video dropped, we were pissed. Then, as the day went on, we got like 1,000 tweets of people standing up for us. That was a great moment. It was unreal. We felt like Lil B. The internet really had our back, and that's when it turned into a really positive thing. We were like, holy shit, we inspired a Drake and Wayne video." One of those people on the internet who had their back was ASAP Yams, who tweeted in support of Uzi. Since then, their signature VHS has become one of the most popular music video concepts, and Gabe has went on to shoot tons of commercials for huge companies like Nike, Adidas, Off-White, Alex, Vans, Bape, Billionaire Boys Club, Uggs, Monster Energy, and music videos for A-list artists. He's done a vlog for Travis Scott, film for Kid Cudi, and has shot and directed music videos for Drake, 21 Savage, Kanye West, and Diplo. His most popular solo work was the music video for Drake and Kanye. The video for Drake, Sneaking, featuring 21 Savage, has Uzi written all over it. It was shot with a large VHS reporter camera from the 80s and has the classic Uzi aesthetic. The music video for Famous by Kanye was done by Gabe's production company with White Trash Tyler. The video was shot in VHS and featured wax figures of Kanye West, Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, Anna Wintour, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Ray J, Amber Rose, Caitlyn Jenner, and Bill Cosby, all sleeping nude in a shared bed as Kanye wakes up. It went on to earn nominations for Best Video at multiple award shows. Another one of Gabe's interests is fashion, and he's always been friends with people in the streetwear scene like Ian Connor and Ass Pizza. Until 2017, the only clothes he put out were the merch for Uzi, like the black static t-shirt and hat. But in October of 2017, he announced the launch of his first brand, 90210. On Tumblr, Gabe shared, "My whole life I wanted to make full zip hoodies and be just like Pharrell. I'm so excited to share all my new music, designs, and films with you all." The brand's name was inspired by the Beverly Hills zip code, similar to the popular TV show. He only ended up dropping one collection, which consisted of full zip, black, yellow, and red hoodies, as well as a branded nylon messenger bag. He also launched a footwear brand, Starwalk, which, as Hypebeast put it, expresses Gabe's signature extraterrestrial aesthetic, which I also believe paid homage to the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. It got some pushback from fans because of its similarities to the Bape's does, but overall the brand had a lot of success. They had collabs with popular brands like Number 9, Ed Hardy, Swarovski, and Psych World. The brand had multiple releases into 2021. It was based in Japan, and most of their drops were only available in Japan. I think it's worth mentioning Gabe spent a lot of time in Japan during this period. In an interview, Gabe explained why he spent so much time there. He said, "Most of the kids here don't speak much English, but it feels like we're on the same wavelength." He said he feels like the young artists in Japan are special and feels like they do things for the right reasons. There's actually a hilarious video of Gabe being stopped by customs in the airport from the National Geographic show to catch a smuggler when he was coming back from Japan, because he literally had so much drip he had to stuff it all in a suitcase, making it look suspicious. I'll link it in the description below so you guys can watch it. Gabe also has a fashion label called Bubblegum. He dropped zip-up hoodies, a hoodie, t-shirts, and probably the most impressive collab of Gabe's by far, a Snow Angel Mickey collab sculpture between Bubblegum, Disney, and AP Portfolio called Popstar, and a hoodie. So it's safe to say that Gabe is pretty well established in the streetwear and fashion world. Lastly, one of his most recent endeavors has been as a producer, even though he's been making beats for a while. Not only did he mostly produce his own album Ready to Rave, he produced Metamorphosis with Filthy, featuring Kid Cudi and Whole Lotta Red. Other than producing for Cudi and himself, Gabe has also produced for Homicide Gang, which is a rap duo consisting of Homicide Bino and Homicide Michi, who were part of Playboi Carti's label Opium. Gabe produced Gun and Put 'Em On with Lil 88, as well as the Baby Sosa song Range Rover with Jonah Abraham and Warpster. Gabe's beats consist of Eurodance elements, a catchy lead, and a messy mix with loud 808s. He is also a part of the production group Hyperpop.jp alongside Starboy, Out of Town, Luso, and Art Dealer.
Grammarly now uses AI to help you write, not just revise.
What are you doing?
Type a prompt and
In August of 2020, Gabe released a single called Tonight to tease his upcoming project Ready to Rave. It was produced, mixed, and mastered all by Gabe. In 2021, Gabe began teasing his new album with snippets on his Instagram, and on April 9th of that year, Gabe dropped his debut album at 31 years old. Ready to Rave is an 11-track album mostly produced by Gabe and has a posthumous feature from Lil Peep at the end. The theme of the album is similar to songs like Lost in the Night by Uzi, but lyrically and production-wise it's pretty different. In songs like No Type, Fast, Crazy, and Rockstar, Gabe talks about the drugs he's doing like lean, Adderall, and mushrooms, the fast cars he's in, spoiling his first girl with designer and the feeling of wanting to party all night in the club. He also raps about toxic girls in his life on Annoying, Don't Cry, Faded, Alone, and Balenciaga. In Annoying, he talks about girls blowing his phone up and, well, annoying him. Don't Cry is about Gabe not wanting to be with his ex-girlfriend, even though she's in love with him, while he tries to reassure her that things will be okay. Faded is the only song on the album that could be considered sad. Gabe says he doesn't want his girl to hear any more lies. He wants to be with her and can't stand to see her cry. Balenciaga was my favorite song on the album. The snippet had been teased for years, and the way the beat drop was crazy. He doesn't want to stay with his girlfriend, tired of playing games and drama. Finally, the biggest song on the album is Spine, the last song Gabe and Lil Peep have together. It's produced by Smokestack, and by listening to Gabe's verse, it's clear it's not the original and he re-recorded it. Gabe pays homage to Peep rapping in a heavy auto-tune voice, referencing popular songs like Ben's Truck and White Tee. Overall, the album was great for his debut. Since then, Gabe hasn't teased or released any new music. He's been hanging out with artists on Playboi Carti's label Opium, like Ken Carson, and others in Carti's camp like Filthy. He even only followed Playboi Carti's label Opium on Instagram at one point, hinting he was a part of the label or a close affiliate. If anything, this just shows that Gabe will always be at the forefront of everything he's a part of, continuing to be a pioneer. Even in 2022, he's with the hottest new rappers like Ken Carson, just like he was with Lil Peep and Lil Tracy in 2017. So that's it for this Gabe doc. I just wanted to close out with the caption a young Swedish fan wrote on SoundCloud. Gabe or Uzi as you call yourself back then when I first discovered you. For me, as a Swede, you are the American young lean and deserve to be a million times bigger than you are right now, music-wise. Peace. By the way, I go by Rashad Bashir. Feel free to comment and give me any feedback or thoughts you had on this video. I'll try to respond.
Bro, that's crazy. So the original Uzi, okay, so I was wrong. It's not being Uzi's inspiration, it's his name. He was the original Uzi because his band name was Uzi. You know what I mean? That's tough though. So I was thinking like Uzi got his inspiration from him, but low-key you can kind of hear it a little bit. Like, I'm not saying that Uzi did copy him, but you can hear the similarities in sort of their like beat selection, melody selection, and kind of how they rap. But that's crazy. Shout out to Gabe, man. Bro, he's 31. When does this video come out? He was 30. I'm guessing he's 30. He was 31 when the video came out. 3 years ago. That nigga's 30. That nigga's 34. He's 34, bro. Still making an impact, bro. That's crazy. So he was doing this a while back. Like, he was doing this his whole 20s, which is crazy. Doing it that long. That's crazy. Shout out to Gabe, man. Alright, y'all, that's gonna be it for this video, man. I hope y'all really enjoyed that. I hope y'all really like got some inspiration, got some knowledge from this video, like learning about how long it took him, or like where he started from. He started from Ohio, or he was born in LA. And it's like he came back and everything changed for him, which is crazy. But like I said in the beginning of the video, he said he skated. I'm telling y'all, bro. And we're gonna keep this hypothesis going that skating is like the entry to everything, because it opens your creativity. But yeah, I hope y'all like and subscribe, man. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. Let me know what y'all want to see next, bro. Our views are going up, bro, which I'm very grateful, and I thank all y'all. So let's keep it going. Like, come on, let's keep it going. I'm gonna keep posting. Y'all gonna keep watching. Let's do it, bro. The world is ours. And let's see how boys in the next one. Let's go.